Hello, everyone. Happy to meet you. It's an honor for me to virtually be at Product Manager Conference in Japan. My presentation is approximately 40 minutes with Q&A at the end. And today I will talk about scaling the product organization in disruptive times. I will be sharing a bit of Mira history, talk about how product organization is structured, how we changed it in the last 1.5 years, cover how we develop our product, what we use for decision-making and planning, and how these processes have changed. Also give some tips on using Mira. I don't know how many of you are active Mira users, but this talk may inspire you to explore it. And my aspiration is that after the talk, you will be able to take away some new tricks to apply in your own company. A couple words about me. My name is Ksenia Apolonskaya, and I have joined Mira in July 2018, which is a bit over 3 years ago. Overall, I have 7 years of experience in product management. I have worked in recruitment technology, advertising technology, and now on collaboration tool. My team is monetization. That is a part of a growth stream, and we run a lot of experiments that aim at conversion, expansion, average revenue per account, revenue. We also work on generating enterprise leads in our self-serve product. Now, sometimes we launch new pricing plans, sometimes we kill old pricing plans, and we own the purchasing flows, the checkout, and the billing logic. Yes, we implement value-first motions because we believe in value first for the user. Sometimes we launch new roles in product. We have just launched a new guest role that's used for external collaboration. It enables the use case of external and infrequent collaboration. And other teams come to us for feature monetization strategy. If they want to consult on where the feature should be, in which plans, it's also our domain. And a couple of words about the company. Mira is the online collaborative whiteboard platform for teams that ideate together, collaborate on projects, run team rituals, design sprints, also for consultants and professional services companies who run facilitated workshops. And of course, it's used for individual brainstorming and brain dumping. It is a very horizontal and versatile product, and we have just passed the mark of 25 million registered users, and we have approximately 3.5 million weekly active users. We believe that our mission is to empower teams to create the next big things by providing the best solutions for collaboration. And as a product team, we consistently create feedback loops with our customers and users in order to become better. For that, we use NPS, which is a Net Promoter Score. If you use Mira, at some point, you may see a little pop-up at the bottom. It will ask you on the scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this tool to your friends or colleagues? And we have a channel in Slack called NPS Text, where in real time you can see the feedback from customers currently in product. It is not always positive, but this is something that helps us become better every day. How did Mira come to life? I know how much innovation is valued in Japan, and personally I find this origin story empowering for builders and innovators. Fun fact, Mira has started as a hardware product. Let's go back in time to 2009 when our founders were running an advertising agency. At the Museum of Contemporary Art, our CEO meets a Moscow painter and invites him to visit the company office. At the time, they had been working on a 3D Flash engine to create interactive experience like the first-person mode in Counter-Strike. Painter loved these experiments, and together they decided to make a joint art project called Touch the Art. It would allow spectators to interact with the painting. The most advanced technology of direct user interaction at the time was multi-touch, and the only thing they knew about it was that iPhone 1 was built on it. But in 2009, they had no access to iPhone in Perm. This is the city where the product originated in Urals, Russia. And they went to forums to collect whatever possible information existed to finally discover that multi-touch was based on the subsurface scattering technology. So their task was to make a huge multi-touch screen, at least 30 inches in size, and it was a real challenge. So they decided to make their own prototype from what they had on hand. They made the case from an old kitchen table that they found in a garage, used a polished plexiglass for the main surface. To make infrared light, they soldered LEDs and put them on the glass sides, and their school teacher of physics helped them. They also took a mirror from the colleague's bathroom, and the most expensive element of the whole construction was a web camera from which they have removed the infrared filter. Then they wrote an app to process images. And when it was necessary to connect the multi-touch driver with software for 3D, they gave a task to a 15-year-old schoolboy who used TV remote controls to imitate multi-touch at home. This guy is still with Mira, and he's now an engineering manager for system teams located in Amsterdam. Finally, the first multi-touch painting was ready. It worked, so they packaged the product, called it a multi-touch kiosk, and took it to an exhibition in Moscow. In fact, that was the first public test of the prototype, and people loved it. So the commercial project started, and they kept refining the technology. For example, have written their own 3D engine based on some game technology that was able to render up to 5 million polygons at the same time, which was pretty amazing. For instance, one of the top shooters at the time had a limit of 1 million polygons. In 2011, they thought that multi-touch was a great technology for presentations, and they got the idea to make a multi-touch lecture desk. So they wrote an app for the main screen that had a built-in browser and a canvas where one could upload and drag images, connect objects using arrows, and put them together into a presentation. This program was written based on Windows Presentation Foundation, languages C and .NET. This is when they actually laid the foundations of real-time board. That was the name of Mira before. And after all these experiments, the decision was made to stop working with the hardware because they didn't have the required production capacity. Instead, they decided to go online and expand from presentation to online collaborative service. They knew nothing about product approach, product development back then. That's why they just followed their gut feeling. After a long discussion and research, company vision stated that it was going to be a software as a service for watching presentations in real time with infinite canvas and an infinite number of people working on the same presentation at the same time. The only cross-platform and cross-browser technology at the time was multi-touch function. With multi-touch function was Flash, and for several years product was powered by Flash before they migrated it to HTML. And by the fall of 2012, the first beta version went public. If I had to highlight 3 takeaways from this story, it would be 1, how scrappy the team was. They used all available technology. How they pivoted based on the signals from their environment and the market. And 3, how they decided to be a global product from day one. Even though Mira originated in Russia, it was never built as a product for Russian market and always had the world as an addressable market. Essentially, this product created a new industry by starting with something very generic, but then they saw who sticks with the product. Basically, it was teams like ours, product managers, designers, researchers, and they shaped the product for this particular target audience. Several years ago, it has been a blue ocean, which is a less competitive state of business. Now we definitely are in the red ocean. Competition has become fierce, and remote collaboration is only fueling that. Now, as product managers, together with being very strategic in what we build, we also need to be even faster. But we have really great fundamentals, and I want to show you this little 1-minute video for showcasing what Mira is today. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. One second. Let's see where we were. Yeah, let's look at Miro Product Organization. 3 years ago, we had 2 product streams. Core product. Oh my God. I have to change this. Yeah, okay. Very important thing that I forgot to mention is this actually explains a lot of what will follow suit. We have our growth fueled by so-called product-led growth. Product-led growth means that it's a great product experience that helps us acquire and retain users and customers. This is something that's opposed to, for example, sales-led growth. We acquire users thanks to viral loops, word of mouth, and this also helps us have a really low cost of acquisition. Then we help users, and the product helps users engage with it, which drives engagement and also leads to higher monetization rates. And a very important thing, I mentioned value first. We have a freemium model. We didn't have it always. We used to have a trial, but several years ago we tested the free plan, and this is one of the engines for acquisition actually, but also this is something that's very customer focused because it provides value first, and teams can use it indefinitely with unlimited amount of people before they decide to go to the next tier. Let's look at Miro Product Organization. 3 years ago, we had 2 product streams. It was core product and growth. Core product was responsible for Canvas, the board itself, for widgets, for integrations, and growth was running experiments, but also released some new functionality. The idea of growth teams is to take the value that core product ships and deliver it to the user as quickly as possible. So these are photos from 2019, I think, maybe early 2019. I took them in our offices, and you can see that these are product managers in a product review, and everybody fits in one room. There were some PMs, there were some designers, and here's our CEO. Obviously, very excited to hear what the presenter has to say. Nonetheless, this is already, even before the pandemics, product was already growing X3, like 300% year over year. And the major growth factor was word of mouth. We even had no paid advertising back then. Come March 2020, and we enter the rise of remote. Mira team also started to work from homes because of the pandemics. And at some point, we realized that we have a huge influx of new user base. What used to be early adopters and early majority is now late majority. How did we know that late majority discovered us? Well, by feedback and support tickets. Customer feedbacks and user research is an ongoing process at Mira, and all PMs and designers are constantly speaking to our audience and researching their use cases. We saw that the nature of questions and pain points that people experience in Mira is different from earlier. People who never used collaborative online tools before came to product. They didn't know how to use Canvas. They didn't understand the concept of zooming in and zooming out. For comparison, we used to have around 2,000 support tickets each month before the pandemics, and about 2,000 to 2,500 tickets a week during the pandemic. So we had to forget about our current OKRs, and we had to jump into new waters. Major product management challenge was to help this new wave of users adopt the product faster and also address new market needs. The major use case was definitely remote meetings and workshops. And during the pandemics, we shipped dozens of improvements and new features for it. We also had to change how we collaborate because now everybody was online. We strongly believe in co-located teams, and we used to sit together with engineers and designer and analyst of my team, but now we all were working from home and everything happened on Zoom. So that also created unmanageable stress, especially that pandemics did not give us any pause. So everybody was really in the state of burning all of the time. For engineering, the main challenge was, of course, to make sure that we scale fast, to make sure that our service can handle the pressure and that we can support hundreds of users on the same board in real time. Even now, it's it keeps scaling, and I talked to my to my colleagues, our developers, asked them what are the main challenges that they have, and they said that, well, now the approval for technical solution takes days or even weeks from other teams. It's really hard to find the right person who owns some part of the code. There still is some lack of documentation, and they have to use code base as a source of truth. And also it became really harder and harder to release because branches are larger and there are more features that we release. Obviously, the product structure had to change. And this is something that we call AMPT. You can see here all of the roles in any cross-functional product team at Miro. There's an analyst, there's a marketing person, there's product manager, engineer, and designer. That's the abbreviation for AMPT. Each of these roles is a leader in something, and analysts helps create a shared perspective of users, customers, and business from the data lens to inform what we build. Product marketing manager is bringing market insights into the building of product and also helps communicating what we have built. Product manager essentially decides what we are investing in and when. Engineers decide how to build a solution, and product designer decide how the solution will work and look like. This is how we work cross-functionally. Apart from AMPT, we have go-to-market functions. These are sales, marketing, customer success, customer support, and revenue operations. And there's the people and operation functions like finance, legal, people, BizOps, and trust. How does all of this fly? Well, we obviously had to scale the streams as well. I showed you this core product versus growth. Now we have 8 teams in core product, 4 teams in use cases, 4 teams in enterprise, 10 teams in growth, 8 teams in platform, because Miro is a platform. We have API, we have SDK, we have a developer platform and developer experience team, and also stability and scalability. And all of these streams are supported by product engineering excellence and productivity stream. How we work. Let's talk about the process itself. All of these are really great frameworks that at some point we have potentially seen in other companies, and maybe mentors and coaches of our executive team have, given an idea to try something out, and this is what we came to in the end. Of course, this is an ever-evolving process. So first, bets. Bets are big and bold. They are brainstormed by the leadership. Usually it's like 4 to 6 bets a year as some very specific priorities from Miro that allow us to become best in class, to maximize growth, and to build competitive advantages. Example could be globalizing the product or localizing the product. Next come OKRs. This is a framework that famously is used at Google, and when I joined, Miro has already used OKRs. Major requirements are that there should not be too many. I think we used to have 6 to 8 OKRs each quarter, and now they came down to, I think, 3, because this helps teams with focus. They also must clearly define the impact, what success looks like, and they must be measurable. An example of an OKR could look something like this. We can say that we want to grow our weekly active users because collaboration is the core value that we bring to the market. And there can be several key results, KRs, that contribute to this particular objective. For example, acquiring a certain percentage of new corporate teams, or helping a certain percentage of teams reach the aha moment in product, and so on. So you kind of decompose this objective into very actionable items. What about stakeholder management? Obviously, since we have grown over the past 1.5 years from several hundred people to over 1,000 people, alignment got more and more critical with time. And what I can say is every product development process starts with either a problem to solve or an opportunity to capture. All fast-growing companies, successful products are at our scale, they have standardized their product review approach. And companies like Intercom, Uber, Airbnb, Asana, Google, Microsoft, all of them have some sort of template, and so do we. Especially with like such a high competitive landscape where we are playing in, it matters more than ever to quickly find out the most relevant problem to solve, evaluate different solutions to identify the most effective, learn from each other's failure and success. And I'm sharing here in this presentation below a template that you can reuse for your own Mira boards, but also there's going to be a link to a Coda document, which you can copy and also use at your company. So such PAD, product alignment document, is where the results of product discoveries are documented. They consist of several sections, and also there are two phases, phase 0 and phase 1. Phase 0 is the discovery of the problem field. Product team is doing a problem discovery and presenting it to receive feedback from peers and leadership. The goal is to ensure we are solving the right problem. What we cover here in that part is usually what problem we're solving and why, what audience is that we are solving this problem for, how does that tie to our strategy, to our OKIRs, is this a competitor neutralizer, is this a differentiator for enterprise plan, is this a delighter, what type of evidence do we have that this is a problem that is worth solving, research, feedback, conversations, data. And also, how do we know that we have solved the problem, which is a success metric? Usually here we cover competitive research, looking at what already exists in the market and how customers are solving this problem now. And also cover high-level potential solutions, maybe also look at very high-level prototypes. The second one, phase 1, is already framing the solution. This is after the product manager has worked with their team to decide which solution would be best. This solution is estimated, how long it will take, and it covers what is in scope of this particular initiative and what is out of scope, but also dependencies, risks, and how we plan to mitigate those risks. And this can be different types of risks, legal, security, operational, compliance, and how do we mitigate those? If it is something big, here we also cover the go-to-market strategy, like when is the release? How do we launch? What is the marketing support needed for that launch? What are the pricing and packaging strategies? And a secret that no one tells you about this type of meetings, you remember the photos that I showed you from 2009, 10 people in the room, a CEO is listening, decision is made quickly. Now our product reviews look like Zoom meetings with anywhere from 30 to 70 people listening in, all types of stakeholders, analytics teams, marketing teams, huge design organization, operations, and whole product management of Mira. And the secret that no one tells you is you do not come to such meeting and start pitching. Usually before that, especially phase 0, you have already spoken to your stakeholders. Well, especially your manager, but everyone who is on the, must-know basis, need-to-know basis, everyone who will be an approver for that, or maybe a direct responsible individual or somebody who is a sponsor, an executive sponsor for this particular opportunity, they are usually aware by that time that this is going to be happening, and they have already provided you with critical feedback, so that this meeting is for covering something that you still haven't thought about, but you already have covered the major parts. And after we have, selected our opportunities and problems that we want to solve, at each point in time, we are choosing the most impactful that are tied to strategic, to business, to customer, or competitive value. Here you can see types of impact scoring or opportunity scoring for technical initiatives that can be something tied to the cost of delay. Like if you don't do this, then what? If we do this, then it will unlock us these particular, opportunities. And let's talk about growth a bit. So growth vision at Mira is to make Mira a go-to known medium for creation and visual collaboration. And growth mission is to drive adoption of the Mira by thinking and collaborating in product. The driving force behind Mira growth is in the following loop. User signs up, user signs up or returns, they create a board or content on the board. At some point, they will want to invite others, to share boards, to collaborate, exchange ideas, or present. And after that, the user visits board or clicks an invite and either signs up or returns. Basically, we see this all the time. Somebody invites somebody from another unit or another company, and at some point, this person, after contributing to this particular board, they will go and create their own team. So growth at Mira is enabled by several things. Obviously, the customer centricity. We listen to our customers, we talk to them a lot. And as an example, as a person who runs experiments and thinks about monetization, if we had an experiment where we see that the treatment group has higher conversion, but we are losing teams, like long-term retention is declining. And for example, we lost, 1 percentage point of teams that retain with us in the long run. So what do we do at this point? So as a product manager, you have to make decisions on such trade-offs. In our case, usually we try not to roll out anything that does lead to decrease in retention, because customer experience and enabling as many people as we can is very important to us. Then simplicity and fast time to value. We have a lot of tutorials. We are trying to make the experience as native and easy as possible, helping a person along the way with different tips. Then the viral loops, like the one that I showed you before, that's the main one, but also each silo, like acquisition and activation and monetization, have mini loops in itself too. Engagement, freemium model that I already covered, and templates. We have plenty of templates that I can show you at the end on the board that you can add to your board, because blank canvas is something scary for many people, like you don't know how to start. So this is something that really is great at both acquisition and activation. Yeah, so let me show you one example of an experiment. This is something that we called feature trials. When the pandemics happened, we decided to help users a bit more, and we opened some of the paid features on a free plan. It means that even if you were just assessing the product or you needed some tool really quickly, you had this ad hoc urgent need to run a meeting with your team today, but you were not sure about upgrading now, you would be able to discover a feature with an opportunity to try it for free. We had several features that are designed specifically for running meetings, like voting, timer, video chat, super lock, bring everyone to me. These are facilitator features opened on a free plan. And we had an experiment where we only had the upgrade button, and in control we had the two options. You could either enter the trial or upgrade immediately. At first, these feature trials, we just gave it out to everybody. But at some point, we decided to measure it. And actually, this spring, we launched an A/B test that I'm showing now. The hypothesis behind that was that users get more value from Mira if we provide them with these trials. And we believed that it will accelerate feature adoption and increase conversion from free to paid. So we showed that for all three teams. We just split them into segments. One was experiment, another was control. And we found out that the variation where we only had a paywall, this is here at the bottom, with only upgrade button, it actually performed better. And the trials, even though they were really nice to have for the users, it did not help. It actually harmed our conversion to paid. And there was a statistical significance in the results. That is why a couple of months ago, we stopped the feature trials and just are now keeping the paywalls on free plans. This was one of the hard decisions to make, frankly, because we really wanted to provide this value first for the users. But we decided that this immediate sort of ad hoc need that was in the pandemics, we did assist a lot of teams for free, but now we cannot keep this motion and product. So this is one of the things that we as monetization team do to test different hypotheses and increase revenue for the company. And also growth at Mira is not just our product organization structure, it's also our culture. We have 4 Mira values that have been created bottom up. We observed behaviors that we value at Mira, and they actually existed before I joined. And this is the second iteration of the values. It was a company-wide initiative to we were voting for things that we think is cool at Mira. So we even choose culture champions every quarter. We have 4: play as a team to win the world, focus on impact and make it happen. This is my favorite one. Practice empathy to gain insight. We even use term like extreme user empathy. And learn, grow, and drive change. So yeah, I guess I'm almost done. I wanted to provide an overview of how we approach product development, what we changed in our process, how it helps us grow. Thank you very much for your attention, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or via email. I honestly would love to speak to some customers from Japan. I never had an opportunity to do that. So if you are a user of Miro who has feedback or has some very specific use case or feature requests, feel free to drop me a line. And yeah, before we finish, I can show you the templates part. This is my board, and this is the product alignment document framework you could use from here. There's going to be a link to Codadoc here as well. So yeah, we have a lot of templates, and if you don't know how to use Mira, you can just go through that and see how other companies use it. For example, we have here Atlassian framework for work-life impact play, or we have amazing mind maps that you can use to jumpstart your thinking, and then you can just simply enter product management to have access to different types of templates. I always use the user story map framework. There's a Gantt chart. There's jobs to be done. There's product launch impact scoring and all sorts of different other templates, customer lifecycle journey, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to share with you today, and I'm happy to take some questions now.